It's time to talk about the woman right here on Soul Sisters on Smooth 98.1. 1 minute past 11 o'clock. And every Wednesday from 11 till 11:50, we discuss issues relating to women. And we welcome your thoughts, your comments, your calls, your contributions, agreement, disagreement. It's free here. And you're welcome to be part of the conversation. We've got different avenues for you to join the conversation. There is WhatsApp, there is call line. We've got a Twitter page, we've got Instagram, and then we have the YouTube page where we're streaming live right now. It is at youtube.com/smooth 91 FM Lagos. Or you just simply go to YouTube and you search for Smooth 91 FM Lagos and you see the stream live there. You should subscribe to us and click on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any program we have whenever we go live. That said, you can again come to WhatsApp. It is 0809 444 0981. You can drop your thought as the conversation goes on and maybe ask your questions, whatever it is that you like to share. Remember, this program is not just for women, but also men who care about the women and maybe they can say one thing or the other. So come along and tag along. That said, we are talking about women in leadership, especially the benefits and the challenges. And I am glad, honored, and excited to have someone who has held different leadership positions over the years, countless years, actually. Okay, not countless, but so many years. And she's here in the studio. You can see her face live on the YouTube stream. I am referring to the Managing Director, Hallmark HMO. That is Mrs. Oladotun Adeogun. Adeogun. I I rehearsed it in my head. I'm sorry. Adeogun, Mrs. Oladotun Adeogun. Good morning.
Good
Thank you for joining
morning.
me.
Nice to be here.
All right, so let's just get down to the basics. I mean, we would like to define what leadership is, even though it's something that a good number of people know what it is. But let's talk about what it is, especially what it is not. I would like you to touch a bit on that.
All right. Thank you very much, Shion. Thank you for inviting me to this program. So, what is leadership? Uh, I'm not going to give you a textbook definition. Okay, I'm going to tell you that from my own experience, leadership is you helping other people to thrive.
Mm,
And the leadership cuts across. So it's not only the MD, it's not only the pastor or whatever. We all are leaders in different categories. As long as you have somebody looking up to you, you have an ability to influence somebody, you're a leader. So leadership is something you do deliberately to help other people to be better at whatever it is that they are doing by you influencing them, by putting a group of people together to say, hey, this is what we want to achieve. How do we do it? So you are like you are the one showing the direction, do it this way, you are the back, you are like a coach. At other times, you are like the mom who nurtures, who shows empathy. So you wear so many caps as a leader. But leadership is not about that cap of the man with the rod who just strikes down. Leadership is not that once somebody comes into everybody's form and pretend as if they are working. That's not a leader. That's like people are afraid of you. You are not a leader. They should not be afraid of you. And you should demystify yourself. So I believe that leadership is about you representing what other people want to be like.
mm. Thank you. You know, what you said now reminds me of a quote that I heard from one very wise person. And paraphrasing his words, he said, a leader makes you do or look forward to doing what you didn't think you could do.
Yes,
And
that's the beauty of influencing. So at times people doubt themselves. They don't even know that they have the capacity. And you find out that unfortunately a lot of leaders try to validate that for them. Yes, now you don't know how to do it. So a leader is actually the one to say, hey, you can do it. Yes, you can. And to let the person say, really? I can? Yeah. Why don't you do it this way? Do it that way. Why don't you? A coach does not tell you what to do. He just guides you. He just like sits behind, allows you to even fail at times and make your mistakes and then improve on it. So that's what a leader should be.
Thank you. Now let's bring it home. Women in leadership. I said it earlier before we came on live. I said countless studies have actually shown that women in leadership positions have huge benefit, not just to the organization, but to a lot of things overall. Okay, I'll cite some examples. Now, in 1992, as far back as 1992, there was a meta-analysis of about 61 studies that was led by a Professor Eagley, and it was said that female leaders demonstrate more transformational leadership style, which is overall better for the environment, and that they tend to epitomize what's good in the organization and inspire people. Now, another study also said that women possess about 7 of 8 traits that are relevant to leadership. This was according to a survey that was done by the Pew Research Center, that women were compassionate,
Exactly.
creative,
Mhm.
honest, intelligent, outgoing, and so many more. So now it begs the question, if this is evidence going by the data, the facts, statistics, why are we not having more women in leadership positions?
Beats me, it's always it's challenge, and it's twofold really. It's about culture, um I know that yes, they will tell you outside Nigeria that it's also a problem, women are not fully, but here Africa generally it's worse. It's worse in Africa because of the stereotypes, the belief system, the cultural notions that women are supposed to be seen but not heard. When it's time for a family meeting, what are you doing here? The men are talking. It's seen as if you belong to the other room and the kitchen. That's where you thrive. So focus on it. And it starts in a subtle way, even from upbringing. When we're bringing up our children, how do we treat the boy child from the girl child? What are the responsibilities we give to, both sexes? Do we give the same, or we choose and say this one is a boy, he doesn't need to go to the kitchen, or no, don't sweep? But if we, as parents, bring them up with the same values to say, look, it doesn't matter your sex. Everybody has a cook day. Everybody has a wash day. That kind of a thing. Even the girl can know how to fix a car. So it's both ways, really. So why are women not represented where we want them to be? Because culture says no most of the time. I have been in meetings. I'm a member of Whisker. Whisker is Women in Successful Careers, you know. And I can tell you that, when we have those engagements around gender equality, even in some societies that you believe that the people are enlightened, you still find them, bringing down women to say, no, there's no seat for you here. So women are at the challenge of, the culture. Women are also at the challenge of they themselves doubting their capacity because they've been told over and over and over again that you don't belong here. So they accept it and limit themselves to just the basics. Being an HR, growing, in my career, I've observed women before they were married and after they were married. And I can tell you that there are some of them that don't recover after marriage, recover in their career. It just nosedives because the other life seems to like overwhelm them and they cannot function in the career effectively. Well, you have some that even after marriage, that's when they thrive better. So it's a function of you against all odds telling yourself that it's not about my gender. It's not about the other responsibilities I have. It's about me putting myself out there, paying the price, doing all that it takes to rise to the position I can. And when you are in that position, don't feel inferior. As a woman, that also happens. So you have you have an opinion, you don't want to say it. Be bold, be confident as a woman. So women can be the problem of themselves. But the major one is that even in the place of, workplace, work culture, is that look, when it comes to recruitment, you hear things like, well, I want to be able to call this guy at 10 p.m. If it's a woman, the husband will say, why are you calling my wife at this time? So there are those stereotypes around what women are expected to do. And then, some when you work with people who are men and who are very chauvinistic in their view, as the boss, you make a comment, he feels offended because a woman is telling me to. So you
Interesting.
must be able to remove your gender from your personality. Project more of your personality and let people see you for who you are in terms of your values, in terms of your contributions, and then your worth. So the society is one, the discrimination, the harassments that we face is another thing that kind of, makes us feel that, well, we belong here. But we have seen many women, thrive beyond what other men have even done. And just like you said, the statistics are right. Women have the competency, they are natural, planners. That is why they say a woman makes a home, right? It's a house, but by the time a woman comes in, it becomes a home because you put order in it. Or you meet a guy, everybody says, oh, this guy is so scattered. And then the next thing he gets married, and you see that he knows how to combine his colors, he knows how to dress well. That is the work of a woman who has helped him to organize himself. So natural women are organizers, women are, they are nurturers, they are people that help other people to do better, and they have collaborative management skills too. They're able to work with other people, to achieve results. So I guess those things help.
Wow, that was quite detailed. Thank you so much. Now, this is a part where we have to take a water break, but don't worry. I know you are itching to bring out your offering because the sermon has been reached. Don't worry. We're just getting started with the conversation. We'll go on this short break, and when we come back, we'll be talking more about what women face in the words of Nigeria and what the eyes of women see in leadership positions. You're listening to Soul Sisters right here on Smooth 98.1.
Take Love Life.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tunji Bakari. I've been a medical doctor for over 20 years, and sometimes I have to recommend my patients leave the country to get urgent care. But with 5G, I don't need my patients to spend enormous amounts of money to fly out. I can consult real time with experts all over the world without needing to get a visa. Even monitoring patients with heart conditions or patients that are at risk of other ailments alone at home can be done with the wearable technology 5G facilitates. Even though I'm a doctor, I keep having to convince my patients this is real, not magic. Bridge the gap with MTN 5G. It offers hyper-fast internet speeds, seamless buffering, and applications that can only be possible via its quality data capabilities. No be juju, not MTN 5G. Now available on iPhone. MTN, what are we doing today?
Every morning is an opportunity to take your hustle to the next level. So, start every day with a great tasting cup of Nescafe 3-in-1. Just add water and enjoy the blend of coffee, creamer, and sugar with that rich, creamy taste you love. To help you start strong and make every morning count. Start strong, finish strong. Nescafe.
Whose world is it?
This is a woman's world.
Let's talk about the woman.
Women make up more than half of the world's population and potential.
Let's talk about gender bias, relationships, and careers. Let's talk about the woman.
For the record, feminism, by definition, is the belief that men and women should have equal rights.
Every woman has
Adeogun.
got a story to tell. A story about her journey to being a shero against all odds.
When I was just 11 years old, I became a female advocate.
Smooth 98.1 presents Soul Sisters, a discourse on the woman. Now on Smooth 98.1 every Wednesday from 11 a.m.
And that's what you're listening to right now on Smooth 98.1. Soul Sisters is the name of the show. And every Wednesday from 11 till 11:50, we talk about women, issues women are facing, issues men making women face, whatever it is, but the issues that are affecting women as the case may be. So make sure you always set your reminder Wednesdays from 11 till 11:50. My name is Oluwaseun, and my guest is Mrs. Oladotun Adeogun. Adeogun. And you can join us on YouTube. It is youtube.com/smooth91FM Lagos. We've started by telling you what leadership is and what it is not. And according to Cruz, he says, according to modern society, leadership appears to be having mouth to talk when you have money. Well, definitely that is not leadership. But if modern society attempts to define it as that, it still will not stick. And my guest has done the justice of telling you what leadership is and what it is not, as well as some of the reasons why we do not have enough women in leadership position, even though the fact and the data has shown that women being in leadership position benefits all, literally everyone, well, except the ones who are not happy. And I don't know for whatever reasons. And she mentioned the two sides side or the issues we've got to society, and as well women themselves need to stand up and maybe own their power, their superpower, as the case may be. Going further, you are one person who has held many leadership positions over the years. Let's talk about some of those challenges that you have seen and how you were able to navigate them or maybe surmount them.
All right, thank you very much. So the first one, the major one, is balancing work and life. You have other responsibilities apart from your work, and in a cosmopolitan town like Lagos, you know what it means to say you want to work as well as keep a home, having kids. I got married at 24. I got my first job about 8 months after my marriage, and I got pregnant for my first child the same month I resumed work. Okay.
Interesting.
And the normal things that happen, your body, you don't even understand what's happening. You're throwing up, you can't keep any food in, and you have to go to work. Now, in retrospect, thank God I had that job, okay? Because I would have been completely, how would I say it now, useless to myself. But the fact that I had to get up and go to work, in spite of how my body was feeling, was enough to help me go through the day, okay? But for me, for a lot of women, at that point in time, you find yourself going through life crises or challenges or changes to your life. What's going to happen to your work life? Is it going to be on suspension? And there's no problem in, having a break in your career because of your family. But you must know that the world of work is such that if you are out of it for so long, it becomes difficult coming back in. I mentor a lot of women, and I know that that is part of the challenge, that they stayed out for so long, bringing up the family, and now their career is suffering for it. Beyond going to school and getting the degrees upon the degrees, is that you need somewhere to, do the work. So you need to balance the two. And in balancing the two, you have to, what I had to do was to work with a lot of family support. And that is what I would recommend for any woman. The other challenge I faced is stereotypes. The fact that people believe that because I'm a woman, I cannot talk to them or I cannot correct them. And of course, I just followed the rules. Thank God I was in HR, so I know A plus B, 1 plus 1 is 2. I know what the rule says. You do it this way, this is what you get. But I even try to use a bit of moral persuasion, to engage you, to know why you feel that this is the way you should go, and you still insist that in spite of everything, this is how you want to go. Then I'll apply the discipline. So it's about being strict and firm, so that you can have the respect, you can earn, the position that you are in. The other thing I faced was discrimination, at the point of recruitment, at the point of applying for some jobs. You get to the point that you get to the final stage, but because you're a woman, you are denied those opportunities. You face at times sexual harassment indirectly. So I've never had somebody come and tell me that if you don't sleep with me, you will not get this job. But I've had subtle, approaches of sexual harassment, especially when you find yourself in a frontline job that you have to go and talk to somebody about, partnering with your business, and you notice the way the person is looking at you, the kind of words he's saying, and that happens to a lot of women. So it's about you knowing yourself and understanding that these are my values and putting it in front at every point in time. It's a reality that women face a lot, okay? That when you're in the place of work, people want to demand for what they are not supposed to demand because they believe that they're in an advantage position over you. Um, Another thing is managing resources. And that's where, when you talk about women helping, being a good manager or leader, it's because of that. Managing resources in the sense that you have limited resources. You want to do something as a leader, you have people looking up to you. How do you take the right decisions to ensure that everybody is carried along? People don't feel as if you are being um, unfair to others. So, as a leader, you face that on a daily basis, coping with limited resources, taking decisions, asking people to go when you would have loved to keep everybody. However, the business must run profitably. So taking those hard decisions, having those what they call difficult conversations is a major thing. And being a woman, you must be able to put your emotions aside and be focused. At times in meetings, I can tell you that it can be challenging. You find out you have to run outside, go to the toilet and clean your face because our hormones run, as a woman. Your hormones will definitely run. But if for you to keep yourself in check and continue to maintain the right posture when you're at work can be difficult at times. And of course, health challenges, every woman faces it. At certain age, some things come up because you're a woman. We were in a meeting yesterday and everybody was asking me, I hope you are not feeling hot because that comes up at times. So your the things you need to do, the wellness initiatives that you need to make as a woman to help yourself to rise above those things. Body shaming is something that happens to some women and really really damages them. There are various ways of abuse. It's not only until you hit somebody. There are verbal abuses. The fact that you walk into a room and say, why are you so what? If the person is big, so what? So women face all this, but it doesn't happen to men. It's not something that is normal for a man to be condemned for his shape or whatever. But women take it on a regular. And unfortunately, women are also responsible for being the one attacking other women. So verbal attacks happen, stereotypes because you believe that you being a woman, you can't be the one in charge, or the responsibilities of balancing your home with your job, and then coping with failure. Coping with failure, that's another thing. As a woman, how do you cope with failure? It's normal that failure comes. It's not all going to be rosy. You are going to have disappointments. You are not going to meet the target at one time or the other. How do you cope with it? Do you transfer the aggression on other people, or do you blame other people for it? In one of my LinkedIn posts, I said, as a leader, you should take the blame for failure and you should allow your team to take the credit for good results because it encourages them. And when you take the blame for failure, you take ownership of it as the leader and go back to the drawing board and say, how else can we do it? So coping with failure is something that women need to learn. Our emotions always come up front. And people say, not today, they'll start shouting now. It's like a default mode for women. We shout or we use our physical, expressions to show that this is our... But the guy will not show those things. He will say it the way it should be said, and that is it. But a woman will shout from here to... And I was guilty of that for a while. I remember one of my colleagues, I don't know, they were joking and they said, and then they started calling each other. That's how I will call them. And I'm not calling because I'm angry or anything. I'm just calling you. So I stopped calling them, open air. I would have to use the phone to call them. So women must be ready to take feedbacks, really. So it's allowing other people to also give you feedback and taking it positively. That's another good quality you must have as a leader. It's not everything you hear or they give you feedback and you start defending yourself. No, take it as feedback and go and improve. So coping with failure is another thing. Balancing work life. Handling stereotypes, discrimination, harassment.
Wow. That is a whole lot. Thank you. I feel like we can make this into a TED talk and it would be so good.
Yeah, nice.
This is the part we have to take another break again. And when we come back, we will continue, especially what your advice and recommendations will be to the younger women, especially the ones who are trying to climb the ladder of leadership or their career generally. You're listening to Soul Sisters right here on Smooth 98.1.
Mr. C, and you're listening to Smooth 98.1.
Wow.
See how I'm using
That went by real fast. That was 15 minutes and it just went by like five seconds to
Yes,
me.
now. What happened? Has the code changed?
Where have you been, girl?
Interesting
Star
conversation.
303
Yeah,
hash.
I
It's the
enjoy
new code
every
to
part
borrow
of
credit
it.
and
It's been
data on
good.
Glow.
So the code is no longer *321 hash, but *303 hash.
Confirmento. Voila! It worked before go star 303 hash, not before show. But guy, I hope so the data will you borrow go reach me and you.
Dial *303 hash to borrow credit and data on Glow and pay later. *303 hash. New code. Same great ease.
Unlimited. Every morning is an opportunity to take your hustle to the next level. So, start every day with a great tasting cup of Nescafe 3-in-1. Just add water and enjoy the blend of coffee, creamer, and sugar with that rich, creamy taste you love. To help you start strong and make every morning count. Start strong, finish strong. Nescafe.
Smooth.
Hi, this is Cody. You know you're listening to Smooth 98.1.
I've sent it. I've sent it.
Thank you.
That's another
Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. 28 minutes past 11 o'clock, and we are discussing women in leadership. It's been a good session so far, good in every sense of it, because it has been enlightening and it has been value filled. If you would like to share the stream with someone, please do that by all means. Send it to them via YouTube. Now, the channel you're searching for is youtube.com/smooth91FM Lagos. If you would like to contribute or ask any question or anything whatsoever that will act as a contribution to the show, you can send it on WhatsApp 0809-444-0981, and you can call 01-448-9981. We've been discussing the topic of women in leadership, and my guest has been Mrs. Oladotun Adeogun. So, talking about climbing the ladder, especially for younger women, I feel you have mentioned some gems in there while you were talking about your challenges and how you were able to navigate them. But for the younger women, especially in this time and age where in 2023, you expect that all these things should not be a thing. I mean, all the stereotyping, the body shaming, the passive aggressive remarks. We will still come back to the part where women, are they their own greatest enemies or their greatest cheerleaders? We'll come back to that. But for now, since you are involved in mentoring women, what would be your general recommendations to those who are looking at climbing their career ladders?
All right. So my first comment is, who are you? Do you know who you are? Do you have an identity, or is an identity crisis? Because if you don't know who you are, girl, everybody is going to tell you who you are. So today, you are the hype of so and so social media. Tomorrow, you are in that party because, so you keep on, just follow the Joneses, For you to build a career, the first thing is that, where am I going? What's the focus here? What do you want to aim at? I can tell you that if you have a target for yourself, you can even exceed that target. But if you don't have any plans, you can be sure that you're not going to go anywhere, because your values will be tested. Your so-called certificates and all that, leave that. That's not the issue here. It's about, who am I? That is what is going to take you far. Your authenticity, the fact that people can trust you, they know you, and they know that if they commit this thing to you, you will do it. If they give you these resources, you will multiply it. Not the one that, I don't know what happened to the money. You can't account for it. You can't even do retirement of the 10,000. Or there's a meeting called for 10 o'clock. You are not there by 11. So consistency is the word. Identity is another thing. Believe in yourself and always show up. Believe in yourself and always show up. Then work hard. Don't scheme. So you have some women who manipulate because they're women, and that harassment is both ways. So you manipulate to get to that position. You can't manipulate everybody, and somewhere down the line the cracks will start showing. So work hard. Also work smart beyond working hard. And working smart means network. Build on the network you have. Don't say I can do it on my own. I'm Superman. You're not Superman. Nobody's an island. Okay, I'm here sitting today because I think I mentioned it before. I said I identified the need for support, family support, friendship support, God support, and of course career support, sponsors along the way, mentors, coaches there, here and there. All this contributes to you building a career. You can't build a career on yourself. You must be ready to work hard, work smart, and pay the price. Sacrifice. Exams I've written. I failed some exams before, but I can tell you that I didn't give up. There is none. It's only ICANN that I didn't conclude. And it was because I changed my career. So I finished as an accountant. So I was going to write ICANN, and then I got pregnant. I think I wrote one paper, and then after that I just went for a master's and changed my career trajectory. And after that I've done certifications upon certifications, and all that. And at every point in time it required sacrifice. But don't give excuses. Keep saying, well, I have to take care of my children. Yes, I took care of my children. I have two children. One is 24 now. The other one is 20. One is in the university. Two of them are in the university. One is doing masters. The other one is first degree. I can tell you that I was part of their life all through, from secondary school from primary to secondary to university. So be involved in that life, but also build career. I carry my son for whisker meetings. My daughter knows everything about my careers and all that, what I'm doing. You introduce them to it. Don't say, well, this one is family, this is that. No, build it together. As you are building your home, you are building your career. But what it means is that you may not be able to get some positions at certain times. So you're having babies and you are competing for a job with somebody that is single, who can stay in the office till 10, who can go for the meeting in Abuja. When at that particular point in time in your own life, your children are still young, just wait. I remember a lady that I had to counsel in the office complaining, they've not promoted me. She has 3 boys back to back. And I told her, which one is more rewarding, these 3 boys or this promotion? You still have this job, meaning that you can still grow. Now, if she's hearing me, she'll be laughing because she has grown now. So at times we are so much in a hurry to get everything at the same time. No, this is a career of 20 years. I'm here now. That was not where I was before. Okay, so there is a progress, allow the process. But as the process is going on, keep improving. You see, preparedness, opportunities will always meet preparedness. When that opportunity comes, because you are prepared for it, you will be considered for it. But don't get to the point that you give up and just say, well, since I'm at this point in my life, my family is number one. Yes, if you ask me, God, family, work. However, I didn't drop the ball in one for the other. I just had to sacrifice more for some at one point for the other. That is it.
Wow. I keep wowing as if I'm an ambulance because these nuggets are just so enlightening. Thank you so much. Quickly, I think you have again mentioned it, but would you say women can have it all?
Well, I would say yes with a seasoning of caution. What do you want? What all exactly do you want? That all is relative. So please don't let the all be Sheun's all or Dotun's all. Let it be you's all. So define yours and stay with it. Don't live your life comparing and chasing after shadows. I must be like, please give me the name now. I must be like
Oprah?
Mrs. I'm even one Nigerian,
Okay, Toyin Sonny.
Oh yeah, I must be Tony Sonny. So for crying out loud, I know her now, and she's going to be my mentor. Tony Sonny has 3 kids. They are all graduates. They are working with her. That's not the stage I am now. She runs a business that is making 500 or something billion. My own is not there yet. Okay, but aspire means that okay, what are the things that they did to grow? Which one can I do? But I may not be able to do all. I can't go and read I can now. No way. No way. So it's about you defining your all. Define your all. And let your all have everything in the bucket in terms of family, your spiritual, your life, your wellness. Put it, your finances. That box of what makes life balanced. Put it, define it, in all those boxes. And by the way, I'm a coach. So I understand how to help you to find your rhythm or your balance in all these areas. And then you put it in the box, define what works for you, and run that your race. You run your race, not anybody's race. So yes, you will have it all, but you have it because you have defined your all and you are walking your talk. Not having it all because Mrs. B built house in Banana Republic, I must build my own. Mrs. A has 5 jeeps, I must have it. Mr. C is carrying Gucci, I must carry Gucci. You don't have to don't put yourself under all those pressure. If you can afford it, fine, okay? So if you're high maintenance and you can afford it, it's okay, fine. You may not even want to be married. You may just like to be single, or you want to marry and not have kids. Whatever you have defined as your all, and you are fine with it, please run it, but not another person's race, because you can't keep up. You can't keep up with it. You can never keep up with it. There is always going to be the latest version, and another one after that, and another one. So don't let that be your drive. Your drive is, this is what I have set as a goal, and this is what I need to do to achieve it, and these are the steps I'm going to take to achieve it. Now, and you're fine. Just be a better version of your yesterday. Keep improving, celebrating yourself along the path, and hey, you're on your way.
Thank you. Now you can begin to bring out your offering. The offering basket is now open. You can begin to send.
I hope I'm going to take 10%.
It's been a good time with my guest, who is a coach, a mentor, an HR professional, a leader as well. And she is the MD of Hallmark HMO. That is Mrs. Oladotun Adeogun. Don't worry, we've got about 10 minutes more, or maybe 8, when we get back from the break. And you can send your thought to WhatsApp if you have any. And if you're just there in your office, in your car, wherever you are, and you're just mean, it's fine. It's okay. Just keep enjoying it. I see the messages of Cruz. It's okay. Thank you. We'll be right back after this break. You're listening to Smooth 98.1. The show is Soul Sisters.
Love music, love life. Smooth 98.1.
What it is.
Every morning is an opportunity to take your hustle to the next level. So, start every day with a great tasting cup of Nescafe 3-in-1. Just add water and enjoy the blend of coffee, creamer, and sugar with that rich, creamy taste you love. To help you start strong and make every morning count. Start strong, finish strong. Nescafe.
Guy, I'm in front of your household.
God!
What is this I'm looking at?
How far?
Last, now you did change already, Piro. Wait, wasn't it 2 days ago that you bashed your car? And now you're driving another
Oh
one?
boy, now blessings on blessings on blessings.
Hey, you just upgraded like that.
Guy, I beg be quiet. Is that how people buy cars? It's the car my insurance company, AXA Mansa, gave me while my car is getting fixed.
It's a lie. AXA Mansa gave you makeshift car.
Yeah.
The same company that took your car to Better Auto Shop, all within 24 hours.
So we've got about
Why
7
you
more
don't show me the
minutes.
way? Before my
Okay,
insurance
so
Time
all
went
my
by real
competitors are here
They jump
advertising
off
each
from
other,
Lagos.
eh? Where is my own advert?
We are waiting.
Insurance feels like an upgrade and leaves you wanting to
gladly
say
have-
thank
we'll
you
gladly
for what
have
you
you
truly
on.
deserve. Visit
Very soon we'll come.
www.axamentor.com or call 0700 AXA today. AXA.
Let's go back to history.
On January 1st, 1914, Lord Frederick Lugard succeeded in the amalgamation of northern and southern provinces of Nigeria to make up for what is now known as the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Nigeria is divided into 4 regions: the West, Midwest, East, and North.
How did this melting pot of diverse people become one nation?
The intention was that the North, either the Igbos in the East or the Yoruba in the West, to team up to form the government.
Let's talk politics and the state of the nation.
So much corruption, commotion, confusion.
Talk politics on Smooth 98.1 every Thursday from 11 a.m.
Black people are more concerned with their tribe being in control than they are with liberation from foreign control. How can we get free?
Hi, my name is Richard Dominic, and this is Smooth 98.
And you're listening to Soul Sisters right here on Smooth 98.1. It's been a comprehensive conversation so far, enlightening, and I hope you've been picking gems and wisdom nuggets. For instance, my guest mentioned that there is progress when you allow the process. So it's very, very important to not skip the process. There is no shortcut really, and there is a price to be paid. Also, the definition of everything is important. What is success to you? If we say woman can have it all, what is all to you? What is your identity? Who are you? What are your values? And what will you not compromise on? And I think those are not even gender specific. You can be a man and take all those things to heart. So make sure that you again send the offering money. We are right here waiting to collect it. All right, as we gradually go to the end of this, or draw to the end of this conversation, the line, women are their own greatest enemies, or they are their own greatest cheerleader. Which of it has been true for you in your leadership journey?
I've had both experiences. I've had both experiences, you know. Starting my career, women, you know, helped, you know, and hold me right through it. And at a particular point in my career, you know, working with mentors and all that, it has not all been rosy. You know, you've had those ones who will give you all the high hopes, and yet no value, so to say, you know. So in as much as you want to work with people, make sure you are working with people who are of like minds like you know. And maybe because of the roles I've taken as an HR, really, when you're working as an HR in an organization, you actually don't have friends, you have colleagues, because a lot of people are drawn to you because of what they think that you can provide information about here and there, you know. So you've had people labeling you because of your role, people talking behind your back and, you know, coming up with notions that are not true about you. At that point, what do? Do you want to respond to everybody, or you want to own your truth and stay with your truth and allow that to define who you are? So not allow people to bring you down, but, you know, work with the fact that there are still women out there who are willing to support you. There are still 1,001 women, you know, that you can still reach out to. And reaching out, really, it doesn't have to be one-on-one all the time. You could actually go on LinkedIn and somebody you admire, just go through their profile and, you know, see what you can emulate from it. For some, you could be in an engagement where they are speaking, and you could, you know, tap into that from them. And there are others that you can have one-on-one with. And when you have those privileges, please take good advantage of it. Nurture those relationships. You know, when people give you access, don't take it for granted, and use it as an opportunity to, you know, make them feel as if, oh, is it because I opened myself up to you? That is why. So respect must still be there, and allowing people to warm up to you also. I mean, it's two ways. You want to warm up to me, but if I'm not responsive, what do you do? So there are times you've had mentors who you want to warm up to, you want to go back and front, do everything, but everything just didn't work. So what do? You move on. You move on. So women can be their greatest supporter, and they can be the worst one, if they allow their personality problems to come in the way, comparing or thinking that the person is better than me. Somebody has come to you for mentoring, yet you are comparing yourself with the person. On what basis? It's because somebody believes that you have something better. That's why they have come to you. Not necessarily that you know everything, but hey, you have value that I want to draw from. Can I draw value from you? It does not mean that we should take it for granted and use it against them. So I believe that women should be more of the cheerleaders of other women. You should sponsor more women. We are talking about this management, and then organizations too must make it a deliberate decision to have women in leadership. I can probably say, Consolidated Hallmark, the management staff is more women than men. At one point, we were even more than the men, But now I think it's 50-50. And that's what it should be, minimum 50-50. Below that is a no-no. So deliberate at the point of recruitment that women are considered. And these stereotypes about women, they can't do it, they can't do the job. There's no job that a woman cannot do. Gone are the days. So from the point of even education, support women, give them access to education, give them access to everything, and pay them well. Don't say because they're women, maybe their husband is
taking care of the ridiculous. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. My last question, you just answered it. It was going to be what organizations can actively do to make sure women come into leadership position. Well, like I mentioned, you have touched on it and enlightened. So yes, if you are in such decision-making position, I hope these things you have heard will influence your decision. Not necessarily to give hand-me-downs, but to consider, if she's competent, why are you overlooking her because she's a woman? So please take these things into consideration and be the reason why somebody can say, yes, I achieved my dream. Never pass up on the opportunity to be an impact on someone and to be part of somebody's success story. Yeah, it's very, very important. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you for having me. It's been interesting. I enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed every part. For people who want to keep up with you on social media, where do they go to find you?
All right. Instagram, Adeogun Oladotun. Twitter, Adeogun Oladotun. What else?
LinkedIn?
Oh, LinkedIn, Oladotun Adeogun. Yeah.
All right, then, in case you want to reach out and ask one or two things, you can. And she is a coach, she is a mentor, she's an HR professional, a leader, and as well as the managing director for Hallmark HMO, Mrs. Oladotun Adeogun. Thank you for listening and being a part of this conversation. We continue with the music on the other side because this is Strictly Soul. And before then, you will listen to the news at 11:55 right here on Smooth 98.1. My name is Oluwaseun, and this is Smooth.
My name is Johnny Joe, and for the best of soul, R&B, jazz,
Thank you. We should take a picture of you.
98.1.
You can end the stream.
This is Johnny Joe.
I didn't realize that thing was not rotated. It's too late. No, it was not rotated. It was supposed to be. Sorry. I need to balance my love.
So when did Smooth move to this place? You were on
we've always been here. Yeah, since 13 years ago.
Oh, okay, that means I've not been to Smooth before. It's inspiration that I.
Okay.
Okay. This is Smooth, where you do a news review in the mornings, right?
Yes, freshly pressed.
Freshly pressed, yeah.
Yes.
I've been listening to that. Cheta and the likes.